But as you don't make money as a writer, really, or you shouldn't do it for that reason. The only people who should write are people who need to write. If you happen to make money at it, God bless you. Sales haven't really been that bad. Kindle, I think I get like 3 cents a download. The truth is in this, I have another job. I'm okay. So the truth is, I just want people to read it. It's really this period. A writer wants people to read his stuff. That's all that I'm in it for. Unless, of course, it becomes a miniseries on HBO, which could. But no one would turn down money. But and I resisted. I'm going to go off. I resisted Kindle for so long because I love paper and I love the smell of it and I love holding books, even the heavy ones. Although as I get older, it's when you have a 400-pound history book of China, your wrist, you're in bed or you're in the chair and the wrist starts going. But okay, did you give me the Kindle? Yeah, my wife is here and she gave me the Kindle, and it sat unused for about 6 months. Yeah. And then I realized, well, I can really kind of order stuff on here, and so I've got my toe in that water. But so if you have a Kindle or any reading to a tablet, whatever, you can download this. And then hopefully, because still my preference, it'll be out in paper before the end of the year. So I hope. But these things take time. Chapter 3, I'll read a little more of this. I do want to do some poetry too, if that's okay. Is that all right?
Sure.
Just a little, if I have time. Just trying, oh gosh, I got lots of time. Chapter 3, and this is where the story starts kicking in. September 24th, 1849. And by the way, my research into Baltimore 1849 was amazing to me, is how much things don't change in the world. We hear so much news about drive-by shootings and gang warfare, and it's awful and it's terrible. Well, but then in Baltimore, they couldn't drive by. They could ride by and shoot you, and it happened quite frequently. Or they could walk up right behind you and shoot you, which they did. As far as gangs, there were tons of Irish gangs that were particularly nasty, including my favorite gang was the Plug Uglies. And they were so known because in the toes of their boots they had a nail, and they would knock you down and plug you ugly. So anyone who thinks that, the good old days. So throw gang warfare, massive corruption on an amazing scale. Well, all the fire departments were run by the gangs. They were privately operated, and if you wanted your house protected, you had to subscribe to that fire department. Which, if you didn't, that fire department may burn your house down. And if you did, another rival fire department might burn your house down. So it was an extortion racket, basically, but that was going on. And then throw slavery on top of it. So the good old days are, as usual, much less attractive than people like to think with nostalgia. It's a dangerous, dangerous thing, nostalgia. September 24th, 1849, 11 p.m. The avenues to death are numerous and strange. I dreamt of death. Perhaps it was the dessert or the dyspeptic truth I had consumed before bed. The sugars and the earths that insinuated themselves into my eager tongue, mixed with the oak of brandy, produced some primitive brew that mimicked the excitement of a sow's nose in the woods. I cannot say with any certainty that I or any man can understand the origins of such terrors of sleep. I only know that the torte was over-rich, that a silver fork brought the fertile truffle to my lips, and that after the second snifter of Armagnac brought me disquieted and alone to my bed, I only theorized that thus stimulated, my tumescent imagination, fed by the potion, led me to the crypt. I was suffocating. There was no air in my tomb. Pushing and clawing in desperation, I struggled to find some escape from the cold marble sarcophagus that surrounded me. All was darkness as I found no purchase, no lever, no release, only paralysis and impotence against the weight above me. I felt my soul slipping away from me like a forbidden caress. My immortal spirit moved within my flesh and rippled like pleasure from the base of my spine to become a spasm at the base of my brain. In waves, it repeated its infinite pulsations until, with a shudder, that divine spark emerged from my head. I saw a dragon uncurling newborn from a golden egg in front of my eyes, and my earthly vision faded to nothingness in the glory of the release. Then it seemed to me in my wonder that I became the dragon, and my corruptible body was left behind. I flowed through stone and soil to the dream world above, a moment of freedom in the imagined air of life, a sudden moment, a space where a single heartbeat might have fit. How long is a dream? How many nights dance in a single blink of the drunken eye? A raven flew through the air and transformed into a man. Dressed in black, he ran from some unseen danger. A blow from the shadows and his neck snapped. A man, bound in chains, rushed to his side, and kneeling over the broken body, touched it with a single finger. The raven man arose, alive again. I recognized his amazed face. "Poe," I said. "Yes," he replied in his careful voice. A single word from him seemed a poem. "Are you alive?" "As any man might be in a dream." I heard a scream in the distance and another closing, approaching. "Help me," I begged him. "Help you?" "She pursues me," I said. "No, you're wrong. She pursues me." Poe's face was grim. "And you have led her here." There was yet another scream, as if heaven itself had been torn by a sword of pure lightning. A naked girl with olive skin materialized in the flash. In her smooth young hand she held a long, golden needle. "Save me," Poe said. There was no emotion in his words. They were dead. "Save me," he said again. When I awoke, the rain was driving against my window with force. There was an autumn storm over Manhattan. The panes of glass chittered with each gust. My breathing matched the raggedness of the wind. I dismissed the dream. As I said, perhaps it was just the dyspeptic truth. God's prophets are all long dead. And then she came to call. So, there's a little hint of Jupiter there, if you caught it or not.